WNBA player Marina Mabrey infamously left the Chicago Sky in August of the WNBA regular season this year to join the Connecticut Sun. And one of the main reasons why she decided to make this decision is because she called the Connecticut Sun a playoff contending team, a team that can actually, move forward and possibly win the title and the championship. Whereas Chicago Sky was experiencing so much lack and so much rebuilding, so much restructure that Marina Mabrey said, you know what? It's time for me to throw in the towel and call it quits. Only to join the Connecticut Sun, and now they are now in the middle of rebuilding and restructuring. Again, this news has just hit like a tidal wave. All the WNBA, not all of them, okay, 7 out of the 12 WNBA head coaches have all got fired, but Stephanie White was the only one, guys, who made the decision to walk away from the Connecticut Sun as the head coach and began to take on the role and operate as the head coach of the Indiana Fever. Okay, this is just breaking news, 3 days ago? So, not only is the head coach of the Connecticut Sun no longer, right? There's a lot of talent on the roster, okay, that are going to free agency. Let me name them all for you. So one, okay, Stephanie White, head coach, she's gone. And for the unrestricted free agents. So an unrestricted free agent is a player who is free to sign with any team after their contract with their previous team ends. So unrestricted free agents can be players who were released from their team, whose contract expired without being renewed, or who were not drafted. So this is a list of ladies who are currently on the Connecticut Sun who are unrestricted free agents. One, Alyssa Thomas. Power couple, the next one, Dewana Bonner. Okay, they are a power couple. They are engaged to be married. Brianna Jones, Tiffany Mitchell, and Astu Endorfall. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? So that's 5. That's 5 unrestricted free agents that are on the Connecticut Sun. And then they have one restricted free agent, being Dejanay Carrington. A restricted free agent is a player who is currently signed to a team but can sign with another team if the original team doesn't match the terms of the new offer. So the original team has the right or first refusal to retain the player. So again, if Dejanay Carrington, let's say next season, the Las Vegas Aces decide to poach her from Connecticut Sun and they can match, they're giving her more benefits, a higher paid salary, let's say benefits under the table, such as what she was alleged that's what De'Ara Hamby was receiving, right? Free private tuition for her daughter, a crib in a gated community, right? If they were to offer Dejanay Carrington these things, Dejanay Carrington can chuck the deuces up to Connecticut Sun and say, you know what, I'm a Las Vegas Ace now. Also, to make the matters worse, the first round pick, okay, will be owned by the Chicago Sky. So Connecticut Sun for the 2025 WNBA season, they cannot get the first round pick because Chicago Sky has been guaranteed that pretty much. And their top tier practice facilities do not exist. Again, that's another reason, right? Not only Marina Mabrey decided to walk away from Chicago Sky organization, but Gabby Williams, Kalia Copper, Alicia Fowles, who else? As of right now, right? They still the practice facility has been, they had the ribbon cut and they had like a celebration, but it still has to be put together, right? So again, the fact that Connecticut Sun doesn't have, a major practice facility for the ladies to actually train and recover, that's another reason why it's like, I'm always so shocked when I find out this entire season, they were the number 2 seed. Now at one point, it was like for 20 seconds. They were the ranked number 1 seed in the league this year, but it wasn't until New York Liberty gave out an L, they immediately took that number 1 seed spot back. Right? Again, remember during the playoffs during the playoff season when it was Connecticut Sun going up against the Indiana Fever, Alyssa Thomas she publicly complained that they had to actually half court the practice facility because it was a 3-year-old's birthday party. And she said that's incredibly disrespectful, and it is. Like, these are professional women. Again, I've always made this argument. The WNBA players, okay, regardless of what you guys want to, make the argument about, they're losing money. They lost $40 million this year. They are still professionals. When you go to work, right, if you work in a corporate environment, construction, legal sales, whatever the revenue, your gross revenue is, whether your company is right either raking in the money or they're losing money, you still are a professional at that job, and you should be treated as such, right? You should have at least a restroom. You need things that accommodate you as a human being, let alone a professional worker, right? So these ladies are professional athletes. I believe they all need to have training facilities that are exclusive to just them. Again, the Chicago Sky, they had a freaking pretty much a public YMCA that closed at 10 o'clock at night. Whereas Las Vegas Aces ladies, on the other hand, they have their own private training facility that they can access 24/7, 365. Okay, it got a cold bar, smoothie bar, juice bar, private chef. They have, hot water, cold water plunges, underwater treadmills. These are things that can actually aid and help prevent injury and also help aid in recovery from injuries, which is a huge issue. Y'all just saw Chicago Sky, three of the players, Camilo Cardoso, Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, the last 2 to 3 weeks of the regular season, they were all out due to injuries. And it's like, what if they had a practice facilities, trainers, and chiropractors, things of this nature, medical professionals on site of their own private training facilities to help aid, prevent, and recover from injuries. Again, the fact that they had to share their gym, make it into a half court while they're trying to practice against the Indiana Fever for the playoffs because of a 3-year-old birthday party is wild and beyond disrespectful. And the Connecticut Sun, whoever the owner is, they should be held accountable for this mess. Okay, they need to be either be forced to sell or trade or whatever. I don't know what they got to do. Be forced to sell the team to an owner who's actually going to take care of these ladies and give them a proper training facility that will actually help aid in the recovery time, right? Injuries, things of this nature, their health, and also aid in them in their performance. All in all, guys, I think we can come to the conclusion that Connecticut Sun, they may be in trouble. Again, the 2025 WNBA season, it will be very interesting to see if they can even just stay in the number 2 seeded position. Again, like, you know what, Marina Mabrey, girl, I understood your plans, right? You weren't happy at Chicago Sky, and that is her right. A lot of people say like she's a traitor, she's this and that, but again, like she's a competitor. She's a woman who's a professional athlete. She wants to go out and make it into the playoffs, advance to the semifinals, which they did, but they were not, unfortunately, able to advance to the finals due to the Minnesota Lynx just, deciding right there on Game 5 that it was a wrap for them. And it's like, I don't fault Marina Mabrey for going to a team that could offer her better overall. But it's like, the irony is, girl, you left the Chicago Sky, not at Connecticut Sun. They're literally going through all the things that you were experiencing at Chicago Sky, except the fact that Chicago Sky now has a training facility, a head coach. Okay, we still waiting for Connecticut Sun. Who's gonna take over? What if they trade places, right? Stephanie White leaving Connecticut Sun to be the coach for the Indiana Fever. Chrissy Sides leaving the Fever, well, she got fired from the Fever, and she gonna be swapped over to the Connecticut Sun. Wouldn't that be so funny? Like DJ Carrington, Melissa Smith, their girlfriends, and they just swap coaches, but they stay on the same team. It's like they saying that that as the Connecticut Sun fans, we should see Stephanie White as an op now. Again, it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out next season. I can't wait, guys. Oh my God, I'll be hopefully out of the military if I can skill bridge to head up out of here early. And it's like it's games I want to go to live, but it's like the ticket sales. That's another thing. It's like, why did they increase the prices like they have? It's like I understand the interest is there and like fans, but it's like, come on now. They said it for the Las Vegas Aces. You used to be able to pay like $800 for a whole home or away game season, right? For all the tickets. Now it's like in the thousands, like 3,500 plus and up. Some of these seats, just for a seat, it's like $800 plus. They say you used to be able to watch a WNBA game for $25 to $65 at a really good seat. Now it's like inflation. It's like they taking advantage of the fans. It's not right. Again, guys, comment down below your thoughts on Marina Mabrey leaving Chicago Sky because they were in the middle of rebuilding, restructuring, and now she's at Connecticut Sun. She's stuck at Connecticut Sun. They're going through the same thing. They have one restricted free agent, DJ Carrington, and then 5 unrestricted free agents. Okay, that's again they have the option, right? Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner. They always said some people say that they're a package deal, but they always say they wouldn't mind going to separate teams. Like they don't have to be on the same team, which I think is interesting. It would be interesting to see that. But again, honestly, with all the mess going on in Connecticut, I'm a huge fan of DJ Carrington, DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, but since DJ Carrington is unrestricted, I would love to see her in the Las Vegas Aces jersey, okay? I don't care what nobody say. Imagine DJ Carrington giving that defense, which they need in the Vegas Aces, alongside Asia Wilson, Jackie Young. Hopefully Kelsey Plum stays. They breaking my heart. Again, like next season is going to be crazy. It's going to be so many changes, guys. And it's like, I don't believe the bombs are done dropping. I think that it's probably a couple more WNBA head coaches who will be fired. So again, guys, comment down below what you guys think all this restructuring and rebuilding we're going to do for the Connecticut Sun and Chicago Sky.